Welcome back, everybody. This is Tony Hager with Takedown Wrestling, and we are headed to South Dakota to talk to Chris Bono with the South Dakota Jackrabbits. How we doing today, Chris?
Doing great, great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We had a conversation on Takedown Radio a couple weekends ago that got to talk about a little Jackrabbits, but one thing that happened in Madison that we a lot of unanswered questions, and you haven't got an explanation. But we'll get to that here in a little bit. We want to talk about where you're at with South Dakota State. You've been there since 2012. Right now is a busy time. You've got kids that are getting ready to come on campus, and you're looking towards next year. We're now with being able to talk to recruits. How has this transition been from going to Madison, having that tough, controversial call to getting back to, hey, I'm the head coach of South Dakota State?
Yeah, it's that's part of being the head coach. Is being at the World Team Trials and trying to get your athletes there. Competing for world championship team spots. So now that we're through that, it's a shame that we don't have John on the team, for that matter. But we're back at it hard. Recruiting is a top priority right now this time of year. We're all over the place, so it's a lot of fun. This is a great time of year, meeting new people, traveling all over, and being in kids' homes, and it's part of what we do.
With kids coming on campus here soon, who are some names that you're looking forward to? I mean, I'm sure you're wanting to see all these kids, but what's like a big name that you're looking to get on campus?
Well, Well, what's been really good this year is we've really stressed these two. We're bringing in 14 freshmen this year, and we really stressed to those guys that you got to get enrolled in the summer class, and you've got to get here training with us in the summer. And it's been great. We've had tons of them on campus, tons of them taking classes. Some are here for 4 weeks. Some have been in and out. Actually, today we've got 5 of them here for orientation. But it's been great. But right now, Anthony Cephalo and Cameron Sikora have been here a lot, and their training has been great. Cameron's getting ready to go to Fargo, and Anthony's been here for the last, I think, 3 weeks, enrolled in the summer class, and it's those two guys are going to be a great little one-two punch for us in the future. And then we've got Casey Clapperot is an in-state kid that's been training up here a lot too, and had a pretty good junior duels, and he's getting ready for Fargo. So we're excited. We're excited about our young kids coming in, and just really even more fired up that they bought in already, and they're listening to what we've been saying about taking a class, getting your training, and becoming a college student. Right that month after high school.
A lot of people known you guys here. I mean, the school you're there too, but you've been doing social media. I mean, this has been kind of like what people are talking about South Dakota State wrestling. What do we got to do, and what do you guys got to do as a staff to get them talking about the wrestling?
Well, we've done some great things, in building this program. Now, it's not on the level where we're going to be talked about, nationally, but we had our first, 10-win, 11-win season in the school's history last year. We qualified again three guys for the NCAA championships, which is it's only been done one time before, and that was the year before. So we're doing things. I'm not a real patient person, but it's been a process. When people say you can't win overnight, it really is true. Unless you're coming from somewhere else and you can pull 4 or 5, 6 kids with you from another university. I was coming from not another coaching job, so I wasn't taking any kids with me and things like that. So we've really built this thing from ground zero, and I'm proud of all of our kids that started it, and I'm real proud of the kids that have stuck it out, and I'm really fired up about what we've got this year on the mat, and then what we've got in our stable that we'll be redshirting. And the future is really, really bright here. It's been we said coming in, it's a 5-year process. We're in year 4, and I think we're kind of a year ahead of the game. We're really looking at making our mark this year and having a couple All-Americans, in Madison Square Garden.
And anytime you basically you're getting 11-win season, and that's the best that you ever had. So coaches, wrestlers, never satisfied. So I can tell that you're fired up about this, because that's where you're not patient, but you're happy where you've come, and there's more things to come, especially with bringing Shop on board. That's got to be great for your lower weight kids. And as we look forward to you getting to be in a new conference, what are your thoughts on having a lot more teams, bigger conference that you guys will get to compete against?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's something wrestling needs, as well as our conference. I feel if we were in the Big 12 conference last year, I feel we would have had a minimum of two more guys at the NCAAs, with a chance of three. But being in our conference, it's in that WWC, basically one guy goes. And you get in the finals, you have a tough go at it, you lose in overtime, you don't go to the NCAA tournament. So I really like it. I'm a Big 12 guy, Big 8 guy. That's what I wrestled in. So it's going to be real nice going back to those venues, wrestling those guys, and it really does raise the level of your program. It's raising the level of our recruiting. It's going to raise everything. Our fan base is excited about it. And our home schedule is going to look real great when we're able to release it, and we're excited. I'm ready. I'm ready to get in the Big 12 conference and start getting after it.
I think it would be great for your guys' school getting those ticket numbers up, and getting more people. Let's just say Iowa State comes to town. That's something that a lot of people will want to see, I would
Yeah,
assume.
well,
So
Tony, we you say that now, and that's kind of the perception of what's going on in our program. We want to be the draw. You know what I mean? We
yep.
want to say, hey, ticket numbers. We're going to Iowa State, and hopefully we draw the crowd. And I'm telling you, this year we've got a team that can win a little bit. Our attendance has gone up every year I've been here. So that's what I'm really excited about is our home fan base. Really, I could care less of what we do on the road, but our home fan base is great. I don't want to have to schedule a big time team to get a sellout arena. You know what I mean? We've got season ticket holders. We have 56 seats around our mat that are sold out every year with a waiting list. At a premium dollar. So we're excited about that. We're averaging, I don't even know, anywhere from 15 to 2,200 people a match right now, and it's just the sky's the limit here. And we want to be, when you say, hey, South Dakota State's coming to town, we want to be known as, a team that can compete with the best in the country.
Has that been a focus of yours when you came from Iowa State, so big crowds. Was that a focus of yours we got to get more fans at your home duels? Because that does seem, you guys do, you put a fan of the week on the mat, you do all this stuff, bring couches on the mat. Was that a big focus for you when you
Yeah,
got
no
here?
doubt about it. We wanted to change the culture here. We wanted to do something for the fans. We're trying to make wrestling fun for the fans. Whether that's coming and seeing your name on the mat or coming and sitting in our couch, or putting on a decent halftime show. But people are going to come to the match if you're a winner, regardless. Even if the product is boring, they're going to come if you're a winner. We're trying to put an exciting product on the mat, and making sure that the fans have a good time while they're there, and when they leave, to make sure their experience has been one of the best they've ever had. And it's working. We've got a great little fan base. And we do a lot. We promote it. We have lunch with our boosters once a week. We highlight our matches. We do stuff on social media to get them fired up about why should they come to the match. A video on Thursdays, a video on Mondays, and so yeah, everything is geared to selling out our arena. That's ultimately what we want to do.
And Coach, I'm just curious, what's your contract look like there at South Dakota State? You going to be there for a while?
I'm here. I love it here. I don't plan on going anywhere. I just bought another new house. Moved in here in a couple months ago, and I've got nowhere to go. We finally got a great coaching staff in place. Finally, I'm seeing some of the rewards of the lean years, I guess we could say, the first couple of years. So yeah, I want to see this thing out. I want to see how our this real first recruiting class gets through, and I want to be here for as long as they'll have me.
Well, based off the numbers that you're telling me, I can't be surprised if they don't give you extension after extension, and bringing in these big names. That's got to be good for your program. You can't build a program overnight, and we're seeing that come to fruition here. And getting back to the reason why I wanted you have you on the show in the Nike hot seat, Ed Ruth versus John Reeder, and this was a matchup at Madison at the World Team Trials, and John was up 12-4 when the bird was, or at least the score on the board was 12-4 when the bird was thrown by the other corner, Ruth's corner, and got reviewed, came back, and the score just completely flipped, 7-6. Ruth was ahead, and at that time, because you have 30 seconds to, or how many, I don't even know what the rules are. I mean, do you have time to rebuttal? Do you throw a bird back at them and say, wow, this is completely wrong? Do you have that right?
Yeah, you do. You do have that right, but um, they threw the bird in and watched it. So if I throw the bird in and they rewatch it, they're going to see the same thing. And I didn't want the wrestling to go on until everything was the way we wanted it. But at some point, there's one guy over there, Rick Tucci's making the decision. How can you change his mind? You know, uh, and really it didn't happen. I sat there for 45 minutes after the match, just asking them to rewatch the match, and then obviously there's an interview that comes out on the internet where Rick does rewatch the match, and he scores it totally different than he scored it during the match. That's where I have a problem. You know what I mean? If he would have sat down and scored it and explained the way he scored it, and he got the same result that was on the scoreboard, okay, we'll live with that. But he was totally different. So, it is what it is. The match is over. I've heard zero from Rick. I've heard zero from USA Wrestling. And all I wanted to know was what can we do about it so it doesn't happen again. John works way too hard, and everybody knows his reputation. Everybody in the country knows what kind of kid John is and his work ethic. And I think that's why I was so upset. He deserves to win. He does everything right, from being a great person to his eating, to his sleeping, to his training, and to see to go out there and basically beat a guy that had teched you 6 weeks before was very discouraging. And I'm still not happy about it, but you know what? It fuels the fire. It's a lot of motivation, and the bottom line is, as you say, don't put it in the referee's hands. Well, we didn't put it in the referee's hands. We scored 12 points, only to be reduced to 3. So it is what it is, and John's over it, but it's in the back of his head every day. He's training about putting a stamp on this, and making that Olympic team here in April.
Well, the reason why I don't have any connections with John, and I'm not in the room, and I'm not vested interest there. Friend wise, I would assume that's why you'd be so upset with that, and what he trains. But what I'm upset about is, okay, this is our sport that we're trying to grow, and in the NFL, if a referee official makes a mistake, it seems like they're reprimanded or they might be suspended or something like that, and there has been no explanation of this, or there hasn't been a meeting that we know of that has come out and at least said, okay, they got it wrong. We don't know if that's ever going to happen. Probably won't if it hasn't. It's been a month since. So I just feel like it does hurt our sport when we have a review, have multiple people reviewing the review, and we can't get it right.
Right. Well, even that comment you just made right there, you're one of the hundreds of people that have said they didn't get it right. I mean, one guy changed the score. We have 3 referees out there who agreed on it. They agreed on the score, and the birdie is thrown in, and we have one guy over there that changes it. That we have 3 competent referees on the mat. They're handpicked for the trials, and they overturn it. Why couldn't we? I mean, it's the trials. I know there's rules. Why couldn't we just figure it out? Why could if there's one guy, Rick Tucci agreed. Everybody in the arena knew it was wrong. You know it wrong. That's why we're having this conversation. And like I said, it is what it is. I respect USA Wrestling, to the utmost. It has really nothing to do with them. The USA Wrestling's been in my corner since day one when I was trying to win World Olympic medals. I coach on there. I'm a volunteer. You know what I mean? And things like this do happen. And like I said, they follow their policies and their procedures. And when you don't win, you're upset. And I think that's I felt like I was right and I didn't win. And we lost, didn't get a chance to go to Vegas to win a world championship. So we're upset, and we'll live with that, and we'll move on with their decision.
Yeah, you can't fault and I guess an organization for somebody else's decision. It wasn't, there was we're thinking that it's just one person that made the decision. Again, I don't know exactly. Andy Rorat, he was, he brought up some things that he thought that, there was Zeke Jones and Tucci kind of gave each other a gesture, like, a wink of an eye, and that kind of rubbed me wrong too, because we have all this FIFA stuff that's coming out with soccer, like all this insider stuff, and I'm not saying that's what's going on, but could that be a possibility? Is that
Well,
something we should look into?
I don't even want to go down that road. Zeke Jones is a friend of mine. We're all sun-kissed kids in that match. Art Bartori takes great care of our athletes and our coaches, and that's that. I don't even believe that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I think that those two guys, Rick Tucci and Zeke Jones, have too much credibility to ever do something like that. I wouldn't even entertain that thought, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's good to hear, because we have to think of people that are not in the media, and just a random person watching or hearing this and thinking, "Wow, is that possible?" And we've talked to Zeke Jones many times. I don't think anyone would, uh, I guess, worry about their losing their reputation, and I'd hate to see if that ever would happen with anybody, even if it wasn't Zeke Jones. It could be anybody in the sport, and I hope that that is not what's going on. We've seen that in
No,
the past.
hey, these coaches in the United States, most of them are my friends. I know, every one of them. I don't think anybody wants to win in a corrupt way. So no, I would never even, like I said, I would never even entertain that thought of, of our guys competing against our own guys and trying to be corrupt. All our guys in the country work hard. All our coaches work hard to find a way to win the right way. So like I said, I wouldn't even go down that route or entertain that thought. It's just one man who's reviewing the film, just seeing it scored a different way than the 6,000 fans that were in there, and the athletes that were on the mat.
So John has moved on, and we're moving on to a big week at Fargo. You coaches plan on being there
Yeah,
to?
Fargo's a big week. We're excited. We've got Team Hawaii training on our campus. We have teams that roll in and out of here over the next 2 weeks. We'll be there representing the Jackrabbits, and and representing our kids that have committed to us and that have signed with us, and very excited for all these guys. These high school kids work hard. There's a ton of talent that'll be in Fargo, and excited to see all those guys get their plaques, and hopefully our guys have the bigger ones than a lot of other guys in the country.
Well, Fargo being so close to home for you guys, I gotta think this is, not put all your eggs in one basket, but I mean this is a big week for you guys, because there's not a whole lot of huge national tournaments around South Dakota, even Iowa. I mean, I'm in Iowa here, and I don't feel like there's huge national tournaments, so this has got to be a big week for you guys recruiting.
Yeah, this is the best. We're 2.5 hours up the road. We go up, come back, go up, spend the night. Come back, go up. So it's great. We can rotate coaches. You can send two of them up. So yeah, we love having it right up there in Fargo. And it's great. Kids can come on visits right after Fargo on unofficial visits, and that happens a lot. Kids drive down right after Fargo. A lot. So really, after Fargo, the first couple of days after Fargo are a big week for us, to tell you the truth.
Well, folks, we've been talking with Chris Bono about Jackrabbits, the John Reeder situation, and what we got to do in the future to. We're excited about seeing Jackrabbits at the Big 12 and being the draw for these fans. I appreciate you coming on the show.
All right. Thanks a lot for having me.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. Thank you.